With a virus sweeping through over 200 countries, threatening the life meter and livelihood of millions, it's easy to see how a health crisis could transcend to an economic one. Jamaica is no exception to the wrath of this new virus, COVID-19, which calls for social distancing as one of the best weapons to stop its spread.
It means that people will be out of work and out of a job, out of an income. You know, the hire purchase piles up, the electricity bill piles up, the food bill, you can't meet it, the frustration grows, and then people say the medicine is worse than the illness.
But recognizing that, government has established a task force chaired by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark to keep our economy going.
So this is the balancing act. We have to figure out how to put in place measures that slow the spread, control the spread, whilst at the same time not doing irreparable damage to our economy.
The COVID Economic Recovery Task Force is a multi-stakeholder task force drawn from persons from a diverse sectoral background, private sector, civil society, academia, and from the public sector. Working with such a diverse group, I'm highly confident that we will be able to put together the contours around Jamaica's economic recovery in this time of the COVID pandemic. We want to make sure that in all the decisions that are made, we don't allow measures that are targeted towards a significant but temporary health crisis to have long-term or permanent economic damage. We want to ensure that we can always recover economically, even though we take a pause for the moment in order to deal with the health effect of the crisis. We also want to make sure that we position ourselves to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that a post-COVID-19 global economy offers, as well as to ensure that we take account of the realities of post-COVID-19.
While the task force looks at the economic big picture, there is an interim initiative that will see thousands of persons receiving grants in the coming days to deal with immediate economic fallout.
The government of Jamaica set up the CARE program, and we have the set cash component where persons who have been laid off can apply for temporary assistance over the next few months. And the data provided by those applications is quite instructive and gives us a real-time assessment of what is transpiring in the economy. We have tens and tens of thousands. We have over 60,000 CARE set cash applications. The vast majority of those are for persons who work in the formal sector. And we are seeing that the job losses, the layoffs, are occurring in a number of sectors and subsectors. Now, as the Prime Minister mentioned, these are all Jamaican citizens who play their part in making our country function. These are human beings and these are livelihoods. And we have to be as concerned about these livelihoods as we are concerned about protecting lives from the health perspective. We announced the CARE program on the 24th of March in the closing budget presentation. And 2 weeks later, on April the 9th, I believe, or 2.5 weeks later, on April the 9th, applications for the CARE program were opened, and we have over 500 applications on behalf of approximately 500,000 Jamaicans. This makes the CARE program the largest and the broadest social intervention program in Jamaica's history. Since Friday, April 24th, that is Friday just gone, the government has been engaged in the verification and processing of these applications. And that verification process involves establishing the eligibility of each applicant for the care product that they applied for, and also verifying that the bank account that exists is an eligible bank account. Since Friday, approximately 350,000 confirmations of eligibility have been sent by computer-generated text message to the mobile phones of applicants for the compassionate grant. Those applicants can expect to receive their grant over the coming days, and another text message will be sent automatically computer-generated when those grants have been paid over to financial institutions that they have, that the applicants would have submitted. Of the 500,000 applications that I mentioned earlier, 60,000 were for set cash grants, and those set cash grants are being processed as we speak. For an individual to be eligible for payment of a set cash grant, the former employer who effected the layoff or the termination will have to upload a P45 form to the website of Tax Administration Jamaica. We are focusing on processing the 450,000 compassionate and care grants, which account for approximately 90% of all applications. And then after that, which will be in early May, turn our attention to processing the general grants, the small business grants, the tourism-related grants, and the best cash grants. And we will do so as speedily as possible.
And to supplement all those efforts, Jamaica is seeking to access a rapid financing instrument from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF.
We expect that application to be considered in a few weeks, and for Jamaica, for disbursement to be made right after that. We are actually entertaining missions from the fund at this point, virtually of course, and the discussions are underway, and we expect our application for access to the rapid financing instrument to be before the board of the IMF very shortly, in a matter of weeks. I would have received a response to the letter which I shared with the public that was sent to the managing director of the IMF, and received a very favorable response that alludes to Jamaica's strong and long track record that favorably disposes the fund to attend to our request expeditiously.
And with that, our financial stability is being protected, with the Economic Recovery Task Force, the COVID Care Program, and the Rapid Financing Instrument, all being used to alleviate the economic setbacks that have been caused by COVID-19.